The melee class has a lot of weapons such as swords, spears, boomerangs, yo-yos and so on, but honestly a lot of them feel like range or magic weapons, especially in the late game. That's why Calamity found a solution, that being the True Melee subclass, which I played before but on 1.3 expert mode. In the meantime, the game got updated, things have changed, new weapons were added, so why not try this again on Infernum Mod? So yeah, the True Melee subclass is represented by swords and spears that do not fire any projectiles when used or require strikes with the weapon itself to create projectiles. Now the question is, can I beat Infernum Mod only with True Melee? This is the first part, which covers the first two main stages of the game, starting with the copper short sword and ending when the Moonlord is defeated. How hard will it be to play only with True Melee? What boss is going to be a pain in the ass to defeat? For how many times will the destroyer pay some taxes? Keep watching to find that out. Here we go guys, a brand new adventure, and of course it will be done on Infernum Mod cause you guys voted for it. So we're starting as usual, chopping down some tall trees, then placing some insta houses for the NPCs that will come soon. Step stool, amazing accessory. Of course there were more chests in here, one chest having the umbrella, which is a true melee weapon if you ask me. I kept on exploring to the left but found a cave and the crimson biome, the natural choice being to go into the cave, right? It didn't really take ages to get to find the first gold chest, it containing the Hermes boots, which is just the perfect accessory for me at this point. Oh yeah, almost forgot, this video is sponsored by the Spelunker Potion. This juice can easily help you find a lot of precious treasures such as ores, life crystals and water chests that can often contain the blue pet, which is a personal favorite. But not only that, it is also available as an emoji to be used in the chat when I do live streams, so if you want to spam the blue emoji in the chat, become a member today. Anyways, back to our epic gamer super intense ruby mining gameplay. Wanna spice up things in your world? Use bombs. Well, at least I came back here and finally crafted a ruby hook, then looking for even more life crystals. At one point I had enough gold bars so I could craft a better broadsword. Truly a memorable moment in this run, folks. The adventure continues in a mushroom biome where a lot of chests and life crystals can be found. Speaking of life crystals, how about an overdose? I kept on exploring the cave and at one point I managed to complete my gold armor set. I was not done with caving yet since I wanted an even better sword, that being the blood butcherer crafted with creamtane bars. Another water chest is the blue pet. Now I bet I can easily kill the Exomax. Just look at him, swimming in a bubble while kinda in contact with the water. I also found the fungal symbiote shrine and I was really happy about it at first, then came the moment of realization that the accessory is not useful for me anymore. There was only one thing left to be done in here, that being to find one life crystal, and after getting it I was done with caving in here. Time to go home and organize a lot of stuff. Once again I upgraded my sword, now having the blood butcherer, which can inflict a pretty cool blood butcher debuff. Then I got a piggy pig because I'm cool. I had 2 random teleportation potions, so why not use them? Where did I end up? Freaking nowhere. I used the second one and oh god, this has to be some good RNG. The jungle. This sword was destroying the enemies from here as they stood no chance. I kept on finding a lot of Draden bases, and next to one base there was a chest that had the most useful, most important, most iconic accessory in the game, the cloud in a bottle. Since I was here, I also looked for some unique items such as the fiberglass fishing pole, which was kinda must for one upcoming activity. Then I got really lucky and found a marble biome with a shrine that had a gladiator's locket, a really good accessory to have even in hard mode. Another ivy chest gave me the feral claws, which again was a good accessory to have. Then I also got an anklet of the wind, and that was it for the jungle caving session. I was pretty lucky to get the jungle rose as well, so I was able to craft the Ateveo bloom, which regularly is known as a flail, but if you right click it turns into a true melee spear. Some insta houses later I started looking for the shimmer and found a glow tulip during the process. Then I also found the shimmer and turned the life crystal and a random fruit into the vital crystal and the aegis fruit, both being permanent upgrades. A bit later I wanted to go and get some honey bottles, but this happened. Well, I guess that my Ateveo bloom spear will turn into a killing machine tonight, and turn into a killing machine it did. As the morning started I was able to go and get enough honey bottles, so I always have the honey effect for better regen. Then after a short crafting process I was also able to craft the semi-station, which gives the effects from the campfire, heart lantern, sunflower and a star in a bottle. So after all this amazing grinding, I guess it should be the time to take on some bosses. Well, I made some sort of an arena and that was it. I was ready for the Desert Scourge. Cool. One boss defeated, now it's time for one iconic part of the game. What I needed was a magic conch so I could easily travel to the ocean, and there I was, at the sulphurous beach, doing the best activity that you can do right now. My goal was to get the Abyssal Amulet, a truly amazing accessory for a true melee player. Not only that, but I also wanted to get the River Shark, which in Calamity hasn't been nerfed, so it can still mine Hellstone. So, as you might be thinking, to the underworld we go. I crafted an obsidian skin potion, and with the help from the boom shurikens, this activity was such a breeze, so in the end I was able to get the molten armor set and the mighty volcano, a truly amazing true melee weapon. The only problem with it was that I had to stay close to the bosses, and Krablon was like nah, hence there's me dying to it. So I guess we're going to do something else, more specific, an invasion. With the help from the volcano and the Yativeo bloom, this was just a walk in the park. While looking for the goblin, I ended up in this place again, and I was like, yeah, maybe the goblin will spoil what I fight Krablon, so let's do it. The goblin didn't spawn mid-fight, but at least I defeated Krablon, so I will get my hands on the fungal clump accessory, which is just perfect for me. Thinking of the goblin, look who's here. Wanna see the definition of stupidity? Well, take a look at this boss fight. Kaplunk bloop bloop. The king has spoken, lads. I still had to get a lot of upgrades when it comes to the accessories, so here I am committing atrocities in the skies because I want feathers. The feathers were needed so I could craft the sandstorm in the bottle, which is far better than what I had before. I also turned it into the yellow horseshoe balloon along with getting the lifting boots. Then I was kinda ready for a boss fight where I didn't know what to expect since it was the first time on Infernum. Literally true melee gameplay, get hit while dealing immense amount of damage. After getting the tainted blade, I also decided to try the perforators to see how this goes. That was incredibly good if you ask me, and again, it's the first time when I fight these bosses on Infernum mode, since I only played on Corruption Worlds before. Here we go, we got past the first half of pre-hard mode. Hehe, funny accessory go. I was really fortunate to get the sausage maker, which in my Calamity Spears only run, it was the weapon that obliterated the wall of flesh. I decided to check the skies again and mine some aerialite, then I opened the chest and it had wings and a star fury. Holy RNG! Too bad I won't use any of them though. With the aerialite bars in my inventory, I was finally able to get a bundle of horseshoe balloons, which was a truly amazing accessory to have. I was also able to craft the broken biome blade, which, hear me out guys, this weapon has attacks based on biomes. This is the ice biome attack, pretty average huh? You might be looking at this and ask, what the heck is that? How would that be good against any boss? Well, why not take a look at this fight? Perfectly balanced, right? Come on funny bowman, win. This sword had infinite potential and the fact that it killed the Eye of Cthulhu just like that got me to be a little cocky, as I am every time I feel overpowered. My next targets should be the Queen Bee or Skeletron, but I decided to skip them and try the Slime God instead, because why not? The fight was going so far so good and I was hoping that I will get to defeat the Slime God in one attempt. How foolish. In another attempt it despawned. How annoying. Another attempt, another fail. I cannot describe how annoying the last phase is for a true melee player, but in the end the Slime God has been finally taken down. Here we go. I defeated the Slime God because I really wanted to craft the Fractured Arc, which I knew it was a really good weapon, but you have no idea how disappointed I was when I found out that this sword actually shoots projectiles and is not a true melee weapon. At least I get the Strategel armor set, which is better than the Molten set. Now it's time to take on the Queen Bee, and oh hey, it's the drunk man. Let's get a lot of beer and get constantly drunk, because that's the way in life. This might be the perfect place to fight the Queen Bee if you ask me. I tried using the Fractured Arc without the projectile thingy and it was pretty good, but unfortunately the lack of attention and excessive self-esteem got me killed. That was way too close if you ask me, but here we go, we're continuing this adventure. Killing the Queen Bee means that we get the Witch Doctor, an important NPC for the melee players, because he sells the imbuing station where I can craft some flasks such as the poison one. Now, guess who's the next boss to be defeated? Of course it's Mr. Skellybones, the iconic Infernum roadblock for the new players. And in case you're asking why, it's because of such bullshit that happens. Not to mention this moment where I was almost done with it, but in the end Skeletron was the one to win the fight. Here we go, after a few attempts Skeletron has been killed as well, but wait, he still has to do its bonk go to horny jail thingy. There we go, we're one step close to the wall of flesh. Fortunately, there was no need to check the dungeon since I could craft the Muramasa with some bones and aerialite bars, and along with 3 other swords and some purified gel, I was finally able to get the Knight's Edge, which is probably the best true melee weapon for this stage. This weapon carried me up until Plantera in a true melee vanilla run. While in the underworld, I decided to be as Romanian as possible and steal the Murasama despite me being unable to use it yet. I cannot wait to use this against the last bosses that might wipe the floor with me. But until we get there, we have to make some bridges for the wall of flesh fight. I expected this fight to be a total pain, but the result was a different one, so enjoy this. That was just insane, oh my goodness. It took less than 1 minute to destroy the wall of flesh. I have no words to express how good I felt when I opened the treasure bag and noticed both the warrior emblem and the breaker blade in my inventory. The first thing I did was to check the crimson chasms and smash a bunch of altars so I would also get the evil smasher, a good weapon for this stage. Then at home I made an artificial graveyard biome so I could craft a worm scarf and with it and some other items craft the bloody worm scarf, a good accessory for the melee players that you can get early in hard mode. Then I got into the dungeon to look for the mechanic and get the fishing rod from her since the next activity requires quite some fishing power and a lot of lines. Welcome to the most engaging activity from this stage, crate fishing. From the first few crates I got enough mithril for an anvil, but that's not all yet. A bit later I got an enchanted sundial which allowed me to fast forward to the next day, allowing more life fruits to spawn faster, and I also crafted a better forge. This is great, now I can craft whatever I want without having to kill some mech bosses. For instance, I can get the unholy core way earlier instead of after one mech, and craft the brimstone sword, which is a true melee weapon if I left click with it. After some more epic gamer fishing, I was finally able to craft the mithril armor set. There weren't many things left to accomplish before taking on a few bosses, just a few reforges here and here, and fair enough. Well, what can I say right now? Nothing much, I expected nothing but this. Early in the next day I continued with some more grinding, the first session being in the skies where I killed harpies and wyverns, and the second one being in the hollowed biome where I used a battle cry and caused mayhem, destroying pixies and unicorns without any mercy. This has been done so I could craft a shit ton of half souls vodka so I could get vodka drunk instead of beer drunk constantly since I'm even cooler now. Not only that, but I also crafted the fairy wings. The epic gamer journey continues in the jungle where I'm trying to eye out 21 life fruits in order to increase my HP even more. Also crafted the evasion scarf, so I guess I was ready for the destroyer. Turns out I wasn't, so I'll do cryogen instead and I will tell you why afterwards. Okay, now that cryogen has been defeated, I should tell you why I did it. It drops a really good weapon called the Avalanche, which unfortunately I didn't get from this bag. At least I can get a lot of cryonic ore before any mech is defeated and craft the Ornate Shield with it, which allows me to ram into the enemies without taking any hit, a feature that will be extremely useful. Also decided to risk my money and buy a cryogen treasure bag, hoping to get the Avalanche, and there it was. Now just take a look at what happens. Bro went from the main character to average taxpayer in a few seconds, so here we go. few out of 3 mechs defeated, but unfortunately for me, these were the easier ones. I said that I should try the twins as well, hoping for a quick and easy kill, but how can this be a quick kill when I cannot even reach the bosses? Only got to hit them from time to time, and this got me to realize that I was about to witness the harshest fight from this run. I went to the wizard to buy a Rod of Discord, hoping that it might help at some point, but what comes next is a short montage of me failing like a non-epic gamer. I had this stupid idea of summoning King Slime so I can hit it and create projectiles that could get to hit the twins too. That was the most successful and the most stupid thing I've done in this run so far. I was watching Drayden watch me and I was like, no way that shit worked out so well. Here we go, we defeated all 3 mechs, now we can progress even further. So we're starting with probably the most important thing, that being mining chlorophyte for the armor set, which is just amazing for a true melee player. It is great because true melee players can easily lose HP to contact damage and the armor set helps with the life regen. Then I also got to upgrade the boots, getting the angel threads, and the horseshoe bundle, getting the mother of all balloons. So quick reforges here and here and we're off to making a brand new arena in the jungle for the next fight. It took some time, but in the end I was kinda ready for Plantera, or at least that's what I thought. One thing that I totally forgot about was to upgrade the broken biome blade, hoping that it might help me with getting a quick and easy kill in the jungle. Also crafted the true Excalibur since this is a true melee weapon and I remember using it against Plantera in my true melee vanilla run as well. The biome blade was incredibly amazing, but then this happened, making me realize that I should take extra care with those thingies Plantera spawn. Also decided to expand the arena even more because enough is never enough for a Plantera fight. Oh god, I just noticed by the time of editing this that the biome blade actually shoots projectiles, but it's okay since I wasn't using those to deal damage to bosses or to kill enemies, as instead I was only using the true melee thingy. Now, to the dungeon. I used the battle cry to increase the spawn rates and this was just crazy. The avalanche was just destroying every single enemy from here. Soon after I got the key brand, which is an interesting true melee weapon because of how it works. The thing with the key brand is that it deals way more damage to the enemies that are closer to dying, for instance this paladin right here. Also crafted an upgrade for the volcano named Hellkite, as well as the Anarchy blade, an upgrade for the breaker blade. This part of the game was supposed to take longer, but since this is a true melee run, I might as well skip some tasks and do golem instead. And do golem, I didn't. So I guess instead we're doing the pumpkin moon, and oh god, just look at this crowd. Luckily this was not extremely laggy. Even more lucky was the fact that I got the horseman's blade from the first pumpkin. So let's try golem again with this weapon. This fight took a lot of time and there were a few close calls, but who even cares anymore. I bought some more treasure bags because I really wanted the Aegis blade, since this is the part of the game where I have a lot of tricks up my sleeves as a true melee player. Also, since this was not hardcore, I went deep into the abyss to get my hands on that burning hot scoria, or giving zero fucks if I would die to the abyss pressure or running out of air. At home, I crafted a bunch of life alloys and along with other materials the miracle fruit, which gives me 25 more extra HP. Then I wanted to defeat Calamity's clone since I skipped her a while ago. The fight was going all good. I was tanking a lot of hits thinking that I will not die at all. Turns out that I'm not immortal yet. I kinda remembered that I had the key brand in the last few seconds, so I decided to use it in order to destroy little stupid Calamitas. Calamitas defeated means we can finally get the core of Calamity, because those require the ashes of Calamity. Of course, the most important item to be crafted with it was nothing else but the Asgard's Valor, the best shield at this stage. Then I also crafted the Vulcanite lance, a true melee spear that you might have seen in one of these two videos of mine. What came next was a funny and pretty long crafting process with the help from the Fargo's Mutant mod, a process where I crafted the Traveling Merchant, the Katana and the Omni Blade afterwards, a sword which is like the younger and more stupid brother of the Murasama. After all of those upgrades and processes, it was the time to reach the end game. Really annoying that the Aegis Blade strategy didn't really work out. It was a strategy where I got stuck into cultist's ass and sunk the Aegis Blade, dealing immense amount of damage and getting a quick kill. Now, allow me to show you a really quick but risky way to easily destroy all the pillars. All you gotta do is get the battle cry, enable high spawn rates and use a really good weapon that can destroy a crowd of enemies almost instantly. In this case, the Vulcanite lance really helps. This pillar was a bit annoying since the one gap strategy didn't really work, as I couldn't get to hit any enemy. Now, before taking on the final vanilla boss, I still had some tasks to complete. Now that I had the Ancient Manipulator, I could craft both the Ambrosial Ampoule and the Absorber, both being really useful accessories for my HP regen. Then I also had to test the Vulcanite lance and hope for an adrenaline charge. Enjoy the next fight against Ostrom Deus and ignore the fact that I'm not really dodging. Despite me being an absolute idiot and not dodging in order to get adrenaline, this fight was a total success. What was even better was the fact that I could mine Astral Ore. This part is my favorite in a Calamity Melee run. I get the hide of Ostrom Deus, which is the perfect accessory a true melee player can wear, as well as the Astral Pike and the Blade, which are incredibly powerful. Remember when I said that I kinda rushed the post-Plantera pre-Golem stage? It was the time to kill some tank bosses in order to test our amazing loadout, so let's just see how the Ostrom Aureus fight goes. True Melee, totally balanced as all things should be. How about the worst boss to exist? This was truly amazing. I melted the 2 tanks of hard mode. Now, I was also thinking of defeating the Dragon Folly before Moonlord, since I have done this before and the Guided Proboscis is just amazing to have. So I summoned it and started dealing a lot of damage in the first phase, but the problem was that I was getting hit more times than the Dragon Folly, so eventually I was the one that would lose the fight. I decided to call it a day and go for Moonlord instead. Before it would spawn, I still had to take down the Stardust Pillar, which, in my opinion, is the worst for a true melee player. After taking it out, I made the mistake of recalling home, not realizing that on Infernum it takes 5 seconds for Moonlord to spawn. I was encased with Moonlord and my entire base. I could say that I feel at home while fighting Moonlord, haha. Apparently the fight was going so good so far, and at one point I really felt like it was going to be a first attempt fight. However, all it took was some really bad dodging and that was it. In one attempt some kind of sorcery happened, so I passed through a 1 tile gap and Moonlord enraged instantly, hence me dying. In another attempt I unleashed all my epic gamer power while using the spear, but unfortunately Moonlord's black hole thingy ate my soul and my hope. This was the last fail and probably the worst out of all of them, since this was the only time in this run where I actually hit the table. Now, the moment you have waited for, the actual Moonlord fight. Thanks for watching so far, enjoy the entire fight.